the head of the CDC is offering his prediction about the next few weeks of the COVID-19 pandemic, and we've got to tell you, the news isn't good.
Robert Redfield believes the number of coronavirus deaths in the U.S. will pass 100,000 by June 1st. In a tweet, he said the CDC tracks 12 different forecast models of possible COVID-19 deaths. As of May 11th, every one of them forecasts an increase in the coming weeks. And despite that grim prediction, North Carolina is preparing to enter phase 2 of reopening on Friday, and that's as long as the data suggests that it is safe. South Carolina starts on Monday, and last night was the first Friday night for South Carolinians to really eat out and try to get back to some sense of normalcy. Channel 9's Aaron Edwards shows us what business looked like in Fort Mill.
It's been a busy night for restaurants here. We actually stopped at several places today to ask restaurant owners how this week has been going for them, and a few were too busy to talk with us. This is the second week for outdoor seating, and the first week indoor seating is allowed. But there are requirements for both, like no parties over 8 people, tables and chairs need to be 6 to 8 feet apart, and of course increased cleaning measures. Restaurant managers we spoke to say getting used to these new guidelines has been an adjustment, but they're just glad to be able to serve the community again. A few restaurants were actually surprised by the turnout this week, including Carmela's in Fort Mill. They say Monday they were extremely busy with takeout and indoor and outdoor seating.
I'm so impressed with the support from the neighborhood. Old faces have come back through, new faces just excited to get out of the house. It's been more than I think anyone anticipated, so it's pretty exciting.
While a lot of restaurants say they were busier than expected, that doesn't mean they're at capacity, as one of those requirements is only 50% occupancy.
Well, let's talk more about what phase 2 would look like in North Carolina if it goes into effect on Friday. The statewide stay-at-home order would be lifted, allowing restaurants to open their dining rooms at limited capacity. This also includes gyms, salons, entertainment venues, and churches. But officials warn COVID-19 is still going to be in our community, and safeguards will be in place until there is a cure. Keeping customers safe would be good for business at local restaurants. Channel 9's Genevieve Curtis found one extreme way one restaurant plans to screen its customers.
This is the second biggest dining room.
Inside Moa Korean Barbecue and Bar, an upscale new spot in Uptown, owner Sean Kim is hoping to finish construction in 2 weeks, but he won't be ready to open for dining just yet.
But my most concern is, people around me. I don't know their condition.
While the state may allow him to serve food with paper menus and social distancing steps in place, he wants to go a step further. He's installing a thermal imaging camera and a screen at the hostess stand.
That way the customers coming in feeling a little better. It doesn't detect everything, but feeling a little better. Relief. To sit down and have a dinner, enjoy their dinner.
He already installed the camera at his restaurant in Columbia, South Carolina, where every staff member is screened as they continue to do takeout only. Here's how it works. Kim set the camera to alert at 100.4. Right now, you can see it's scanning me, and I'm registering around 97 degrees. But if we lower the temperature scan to 97, now the system alerts Kim to my temperature.
Caution. Abnormal.
The idea came from how South Korea is handling the coronavirus pandemic and how the country is opening back up.
In South Korea, their public places are just mandatory to have these thermal cameras.
He knows there might be some pushback from customers, but Kim says he's just trying to find a way to open up safely. The pandemic has already delayed his restaurant opening by several months. He says a second or even longer shutdown would be crippling.
But we'll see some angry customers, turning around, but we have to set the rule and written policy in front of the restaurant.
Well, social distancing will be even more important as more people return to businesses. But Mecklenburg County's health department says fewer people might be focused on staying safe. This chart shows the county's estimated social distancing compliance. You can see the upward slope when the stay-at-home order started. But over the past few weeks, we've been gradually trending down to about 40% compliance.
We have more details this morning about an outbreak at a Lenore company. 4 workers at the Carolina Prime Pet Plant on Morganton Boulevard tested positive. Caldwell County officials say that the company was proactive by having all employees tested. The company makes dog food and treats, and it says it's been offering masks and gloves, checking employees' temperatures, and disinfecting workers in the building regularly. Caldwell County is now up to 74 cases, but 36 of those have recovered. Currently, there are more than 17,000 cases across North Carolina and 641 deaths. South Carolina now has more than 8,400 cases and 380 deaths, and that is up more than 200 cases since Thursday.
Well, a bill to send you another stimulus check is on its way to the Senate, but it's not expected to survive there. Last night, the U.S. House passed a $3 trillion coronavirus relief bill. It includes nearly $1 trillion in relief for state and local governments, a second round of $1,200 checks per person, extension of unemployment benefits, and gives additional funding for testing. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham and President Trump both say that the bill won't pass the Senate because there are too many other provisions attached. Democrats say the bill is an opening offer for future negotiation.
The president says that the U.S. is making a comeback, and he is under the assumption that there'll be a vaccine in the near future. And he called it Operation Warp Speed. And he wants to make sure the minute there's a vaccine, the country can immediately mass produce it and get it out to patients.
It's risky, it's expensive, but we'll be saving massive amounts of time. We'll be saving years if we do this properly, and that's what we're doing. So we're gearing up on the assumption that we'll have in the near future, relatively near future, a vaccine.
He also said the country will return to normal with or without a vaccine.
Well, we are 100 days away from the Republican National Convention's scheduled dates in Charlotte, but there are health concerns about the tens of thousands of extra people who could rush to the city. The Republican Party believes the city can safely handle the influx of visitors, and it hired a medical expert to guide their decisions. RNC leaders say that they are committed to having procedures and guidelines in place to make this a safe event. That could mean temperature checks outside of venues, mandated masks, and distancing inside buildings. The person in charge of planning the event says she wants the RNC to be a worldwide model and how to safely hold large events.
Our primary focus right now is the fact that we're just going to have a safe, convention for all the people of Charlotte, and that all of our guests will feel like they're in a very good environment where they don't have to be worried about any sort of risk. The coronavirus is not going to deflate the spirit of Charlotte. They're just going to we're going to forge ahead. And, we don't take this very lightly.
And Kelly hopes the RNC will provide a boost for businesses, especially struggling restaurants. Charlotte City Council is still planning for an in-person convention, too. Late last month, members voted to accept $50 million in federal money to cover security expenses. The city attorney says there are backup plans in case of social distancing guidelines and mass gathering limits. Meanwhile, we could see virtual voting at the Democratic National Convention in August. Tuesday, a party committee decided to allow convention planners to look into alternative voting methods. That decision still has to be approved by full DNC membership. The DNC chairman says the convention in Milwaukee could still happen in person.
Penney just became the most recent major retailer to fall victim to the pandemic's economic fallout. The retail giant filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy yesterday. There is some hope because the company didn't file Chapter 7. So even though it will likely close many stores and lay off many workers, lenders say the company can keep operating in the hopes that it can earn enough money to pay back its debts. Penney is among many retailers that are suffering from historically low sales during the pandemic. The Census Bureau says April's numbers were down 16%, and that is twice as deep as March's numbers. Clothing and accessory stores took the biggest hit. And over the last week or so, we have seen those retailers opening their doors gradually again.
Well, starting this morning, Publix is going back to their normal operations. Stores will be going back to opening 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and the pharmacy will return to their normal hours too. Stores will still have one-way shopping aisles, plexiglass shields at registers, and masks for employees.